everybody, how are you? It is a little bit late at night, 10 to 9 here in Adelaide, and it's my very first live at all ever, so that's a bit exciting for me. I hope you can all hear me. I wouldn't know what to do if you can't, so I shall just press on. So welcome to 2021. Many of you might have watched my previous things that I did via Zoom last year in my Back to Basics. So I may do a little bit of that this year as well, or I might just do it in this format, just using the Facebook Live, because then you can watch it back again. So I've decided tonight just to do a little bit about yogurt. So this is one of my basics that I do every single week, and I just love the yogurt as a result. So I've noticed on a lot of the Facebook posts that people have been having trouble with their yogurt or just not quite sure what to do. Now, I will be doing the TM6 version. It's called Natural Yogurt Aroma Method, and it's on Cookie Dough. Good timing, my Thermomix just turned itself off. And with this version, I ferment it overnight for 10 hours. Personally, I prefer to use the white thermo server, but you could, if you didn't have this particular product, you could use the yogurt jars. So these are the yogurt jars that you get from the mix shop. There's 8 of them in the pack. They're about $22.50. They're really good for portion control. Otherwise, I just tend to eat quite a lot of the yogurt. So if you put them in here, it's much better because you only eat a little bit at a time. And what I also have noticed people commenting on is the lids of the yogurt jars. Now, once you have got the cooked yogurt in here and you put the silicone lid on, it's quite loose fitting. But the idea is that you then press it down in the middle, and with the yogurt inside, it actually suctions the lid on. So just give it a try if you've already got the yogurt jars, because unless you do that, they are quite loose. Okay, so let's get started. With this particular recipe, what I've done is I have started it off already by doing the first step, which is putting a litre of milk, and I just used the full cream milk from Coles, which is about $1.25, and you pop it into the machine and then cook it for 10 minutes at 80 degrees on speed 3 without the measuring cup. Once that's finished, then you just leave it in the bowl to cool down from 80 degrees back down to about 45 degrees. It's currently sitting on 50, and I often will just go ahead and do it at 50, that's fine. So once that's happened and you've got it down to that temperature, what we do is we just pour a little bit of that milk into a little jug, put that back in, and then out of the fridge, I'll just get my yogurt starter. Now, a little word about the yogurt starter, because this is again something else that people have asked lots of questions about. Personally, I like a nice creamy vanilla yogurt, so it's not too sweet. You can have it by itself, or it's really great with fruit. I use the Jalna Creamy Vanilla. I buy the 1 litre container, and I just put it into portion it off into these little containers and pop it in the freezer. They freeze really well, and then when I know I'm about to make yogurt, I just get it out to defrost. It doesn't take too long, and you can just use it for your starter. So the recipe says just to pop a little bit of that yogurt starter. I do tend to use a bit more than what the recipe calls for, just because it's the size of these containers that I've got, The recipe asks for 55 and I usually put about 70 in it. It doesn't seem to do it any harm, and in fact my yogurt is always beautiful and thick and creamy. Okay, so once we have mixed the little bit of that cooled milk in with the yogurt starter, you then, I shall show you on here, so it actually tells you in the recipe that this is what we're doing, and you just add it back in to the mixture, which is just the milk. The next step is to add your 50 grams of full cream milk powder. So again, I just use the Coles brand milk powder. It's about $5.70 for a kilo bag. And we will just put in 50 grams there. Done. Next thing is just 30 grams of caster sugar, which of course I have previously done in my Thermomix, just using normal sugar. Just mill it down to caster sugar. And then putting the lid back on, measuring cup back on. I am going to just mix it for 5 seconds at about speed 4. So that's really just to combine everything. That's all that's doing. Okay, so while that's happening, I get my aroma ready. And the Thermomix tells me to simply pour this mixture into the white thermo server, or you could use your yogurt jars if that's what your preference is. You simply pour it in. Easy as that. And lid on. Just remember that with this little tab of the lid, if you position it sideways, and that way when you put the lid of the aroma on, it doesn't interfere, otherwise it doesn't sit down flat. All right, that's done. And then we give the bowl a quick rinse, which I won't bother because I'm just going to grab another bowl, so I'm not making you wait. And it asks us then to put in 250 grams of water. So in goes my water, and finish it off with 30 grams of lemon juice. Now the idea of putting the lemon juice into the water is to make sure that it doesn't, that extended period of time of having the water at a certain temperature, it won't pit or make those funny marks in your stainless steel bowl. So this works a treat. Don't skip this step, it is an important one. Okay, so then we just put lid back on, and it will tell us to place the aroma right here on top, and for 10 hours at 70 degrees on fermentation mode. So what I generally do is I just look at the time and I try and put this on, calculate 10 hours so that it's ready at about 7 o'clock in the morning when I get up. Soon as it's finished in the morning, you just take it out of here, put it straight into the fridge and leave it there for about 4 hours, and it is beautiful, thick, creamy. So what I will do is I'll do a very quick Facebook Live in the morning just to show you the result, and I'll probably take a few photos as well and pop them up on my Facebook page. If anybody is interested in earning themselves one of the white thermo servers, so that's the box there. It's a really simple thing to do. Just give me a message, send me a message, phone me, however you want to get in touch with me, and ask to have a cooking experience. I can do them live like this over Zoom, or I could do them in your home if you're local to me. Invite a few friends around, and then regardless of what transpires, you will unlock the host rewards, and this is one of them. So it's a way to get yourself this item without having to fork out very much money at all. And you might even get it free if somebody purchases at your cooking experience. So that would be pretty cool. and it's just great. It's going to save you. I did a quick calculation, just I'm a numbers girl, you know how it is. So I added up that the cost of the milk, the caster sugar, the milk powder, my yogurt starter, it's costing me $2 to make a litre of this beautiful thick creamy yogurt. And normally to purchase the Jalna creamy vanilla, a litre of that is $7.50. So you can see, let's say even if it's on special, you know, it's a little bit cheaper, but still regardless, you're going to save yourself $4 to $5 every week. And that soon adds up in amongst everything else that you're doing. Plus you get the satisfaction that you've made it yourself. You can decrease the sugar if you want to after you taste it, but I've found that the 30 grams is just perfect. So, okay, well that's all from me, and I will see some of you tomorrow morning when I show you the result of my beautiful thick creamy yogurt. And that's it for now. So I hope you've enjoyed my very first live, and I'm sure I'll get better at them as I go on, because you know, it's all new. Now I've got to try and reach the phone and click finish. So bye everybody. See you another time. Bye.